Today, James is picking between Madhouse, Apparition, and Digging Up the Marrow. For some reason, I think we were trying to pick these movies before. You don't want to even look at that one? All right.
Really? You gotta pick one.
I think you picked that one. Or do you want this one?
Is that your pick for sure?
Which one are you going to give to Daddy? That'll be the one we pick. You have a lot to say about that.
That
one? That's the one. Digging Up the Marrow. And we're back after watching Digging Up the Marrow, which has a fantastic cover. Love that cover. Yes. It's from director Adam Green and artist Alex Pardee. It's from 2014. And yeah. Runs just under an hour and a half. And essentially it's a mockumentary type film, or a found footage type film, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a bit of both.
It should say that.
Why don't you just air your grievances right now?
I didn't know that it was supposed to be that. I thought it was like some real movie where, you know, this guy had to like look for something, and I apparently missed a few words in the little description on the back, and then it comes on and I'm like, is this the right movie?
Yeah, at first she didn't realize the documentary portion.
No. So then I was like,
so
all right.
It opens up with actual documentary, like actual footage from you know, they shot at I guess a Comic-Con or something like that, with a whole bunch of different stars, writers, directors, you know, all horror personalities and such.
So then I was like pissed off because that's not the movie I was expecting.
No, she thought it was a you know, piece of fiction.
Yeah. And I was like, well, all right.
So she had to see the cover. She grabbed the cover again. She's like,
yeah,
what the hell?
Again. And then I was like, oh, I missed this
I missed the word documentary.
Okay. But then I was like, all right, it's a documentary. Whatever. Not too happy, but I mean, and I do like documentaries, but that's not what I wanted to watch right now. So fine. That was fine. And then I see like one of the main characters. Well, there's not many people in it, but and I was just like, hold on a second, this is not even real. Like what?
Yes. Like I said, a mockumentary.
Yeah. So
because
two times not what I was expecting.
This is director Adam Green playing himself as the director of this mockumentary, as a documentary. There you go. And the subject du jour is a Ray Weiss, or Ray Weiss is, as we know him. He plays the character of William Decker, an ex-private detective who has spent his life looking for monsters. And so they're going to shoot this documentary about him, and they're going to go searching for monsters with him. Because apparently he's actually seen the monsters. And oddly enough, this has a very similar tone as if, and I guess the William Decker, people will clue into this, the Nightbreed movie. You know what Nightbreed's about? Well, essentially this is kind of like a documentary looking for the Nightbreed. This is essentially what this movie is. It's just you can't say Nightbreed because Nightbreed's owned by a different person. So, how do you make your own Nightbreed movie? Well, mockumentary it by calling it Digging Up the Marrow. So yeah, there's not many people. I mean, there are stars and stuff that show up. Tony Todd is in an interview. Kane Hodder comes in and does a little bit, and there's little things here and there. Mick Garris is in it, and just little interviews and such, and pieces where they're trying to shoot this documentary and they're talking, and of course the cameras are rolling and such, so it all gets spliced into this film. But it really is about Adam Green and William Decker, and their report. He's essentially interviewing them and doing all the on-camera stuff while they're searching for monsters. Which, as I said, this was an Adam Green, Alex Pardee film. They are the executive producers of it, because the monsters themselves are based off of the art of Alex Pardee. So I wouldn't be surprised if the actual pictures and sketches and stuff of monsters they show in the film are Alex, his works. I've never seen them. You don't need the pumpkin. Get a phone. But yeah, so it's like anything, right? Like as a lot of documentary stuff, documentary or mockumentary, when it comes, whether it's Bigfoot, ghosts, monsters, whatever it is.
Don't even put ghosts.
For a good portion of it, nothing is happening. Nothing's there. You're getting to know the characters. You're getting to know the people. You're getting to know the locations, and the backstories of everything, and then eventually you come down and you kind of get to the climax, and you either do or don't see something, or something happens, or something along those lines to give you that whole build up and climax near roughly the end. And this is no different. This one does show monsters a lot more than I actually anticipated. So I guess it has that going for it. They get a little weirder as you go along, but I guess that's how monsters go. But yeah. Thoughts, Leslie?
I don't want to have thoughts. Because it's the guy who did, Hatchet, which I really liked, except for number 3. I don't know why he did this. It was stupid. Like, it was stupid and pointless to me, basically. I don't know why the whole thing came about and whatever. The world could do without it.
So you didn't like it, is what you're
It's
saying?
not, well, no, it's not like I could watch it. It's watchable, you know.
James, buddy.
And there was a couple times where you see monsters, and I was just like, oh, because I wasn't expecting that, so that was okay. So it's not horrible, but I think I'm just mad because it's not what I thought it was supposed to be. You know, like, had I gone into it...
She went in with expectations and they were
Yeah.
quickly shattered.
Yeah,
And she couldn't recover. That's essentially what she's doing.
yeah, it's not bad. It's just not what I had thought and wanted to watch, and so that ticks me off. And the whole thing is kind of silly, and now I sound like somebody who doesn't like fun things when I do, but I just don't think I was in the mood for it. And
No, that's it. Because if they were, hunting ghosts...
then there's no problem.
So if the movie wasn't about, hunting monsters and it
Yeah.
was hunting ghosts,
Yeah.
she'd be all over it. She'd be like, hey, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's monsters, she was just like, eh.
It had
It's monsters. Monsters aren't real.
I don't exactly. No, and I said to you, I'm like, this reminds me of like a Bigfoot documentary thing. Like, and I don't like those things. So it's not up my alley. It was alright. And don't even ask me for a rating because I really, I don't know.
Well, you better think. I liked it. As far as mockumentary, documentary type things go, I think it was fine. It was cool. It played out essentially the way you would think it would. I think the monsters near the end could have been a little bit better. At the first few monsters and stuff they show, kind of have a sense of realism, and then they just get really weird, like too over the top, really. But I thought Ray did an absolutely amazing job as a crazy, like a guy who comes across as a crazy man who believes these things, but nobody literally can believe you. Like he's seen the monsters. He's experienced the monsters, not just one but multiple ones in different places and stuff. Right?
Yeah, even though it's not real.
It's not real.
Watching him, you're like, I believe you.
I know, I believe him as that crazy man. Like I can seriously, if I hadn't seen him in anything before, I didn't know who he was, I would totally fall for him as being real. Right? Kudos to him for his acting abilities, because because
it's so silly.
It is, but he plays it perfectly. It's a sense of seriousness and determination and that feeling that nobody believes you. Mm-hmm. It comes across in everything he's doing, right? Yeah. He could have so easily been a caricature. This is the thing, Ray has characters that are like caricatures, right? Some of the characters he's played, and they're supposed to be over the top, and he plays them over the top. And this one could have so easily gone that way. He could have been the, oh man, don't you believe me, type of character. But he's so real. Mm-hmm. It's so real. And I think he really, I don't know that they would have been able to make this film work with another actor. I think they would have either come off as they are acting, or as just sort of yeah, I don't know. It's so easy to just do that role and do it poorly and not convincingly. And you really need to be convincing with it, considering you are the main driving force outside of the director acting as himself. Right? Like, the director's just like, I've always wanted to believe in monsters. We gotta shoot this stuff. When doing interviews and all this kind of stuff, like, he's just being himself. Like, he just has to talk like he normally talks, do what he would normally do. The difference is he's on the other side of the camera now, right? Like, which I guess also lends to the credibility and the believableness of the film. And yeah. Okay, buddy. Oh, puppies. Yeah. So in that sense, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Now, I'm not the biggest documentary fan.
Yeah, I feel like I like documentaries.
You like documentaries way more than I do. I have to really be behind the subject to really enjoy a documentary, and the documentary has to be good. Mockumentaries, on the other hand, I like because all they have to do is try and be like a documentary, but at the same time, they will deliver something a little bit more entertaining. Like, this one had monsters in it. If it was a real documentary about people hunting for monsters, well, you've probably seen that show on the Discovery Channel. It's the most boring thing ever. I think it's called Monster Hunters or something like that.
It's a thing?
Oh yeah, they go out and search for like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, and then all it is like infrared cameras of them at night walking through the forest and talking about, it's like, oh my god, do you think we're going to see them tonight? Oh, everybody around, and there's never any monsters. You never see any monsters.
Because they aren't real.
So, that's why I kind of like a mockumentary over a documentary in these sense, because you get to see these monsters. The monsters show up. They do stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it for that. Yeah. I didn't know anything going in, so.
Yeah, you weren't
knew?
disappointed because you didn't read it.
Ah. That's why you chose it? Okay. Well, it's good to know. Oh, and you knew Mommy wouldn't like it. Oh. Well, that's not very nice. You're supposed to choose something that Mommy will like, too. All right. It's that question. By Bob.
Well, the thing is, I have to put aside the fact that it's not what I thought it was twice.
Yeah, twice.
So that, like, really...
Movie starts off, this is not what I thought it was. Oh, man. 5 minutes in, wait a minute.
Literally. So that...
I was just coming to terms with the fact that it wasn't what I thought it was in the first place.
Yeah. So, it's hard to put that aside. It was not bad.
I know.
There were some funny
The pumpkins are in front of you. See?
I hate this rating thing. Because, like, I would go 3.
Wow.
Because it wasn't bad, and there was funny moments and stuff like that. I mean, but I didn't watch. I was, looking away for a while.
Yeah, she was on her phone for most of it. I don't know how many times I got asked, oh, where are they? What was that? What did I just miss? Oh, that looked important. What was it? I wasn't looking. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it's like, you can't laugh. It's like 2.5 to 3. Like, it's not bad, and I think if I knew what it was originally, I would have for sure said 3. It's just bugging me because I didn't know, and
So 3 it is.
yeah, I guess.
I'm also going to go with 3. I mean, it does, like I said, it does what
You don't agree with that.
you know, he's like, how dare you give my movie a 3? I know. So, what? Yeah? Oh, you weren't going to get up in my face about my rating, are you?
I said the same thing.
Yeah. Why are you up in Mummy's face? Oh, because you picked it and you wanted her to not like it. This is what that was it, was it? Oh, you're calling your agent? I can't work with these people anymore. But yeah, like I said, I'm giving it a 3 because it does what it was trying to do very, very well. It does have some payoff at the end, so you get to see monsters. It's not like they don't show anything, or everything happens off screen. You know, it's not like you're watching the Blair Witch Project and then you wait the whole film and then the witch shows up in the last second, right?
You should have said spoiler, man.
I should have said spoiler.
Who hasn't seen that by this point?
Yeah, well, a lot of people, because it's been like a whole generation since that movie came out. But at the same time,
No, Mommy has
like
to-
I said, the monsters got a little funky.
Not my glasses. No.
And because it is a mockumentary, so that takes a little bit off of it for me. Because, well, I'm not as entertained by those things, right? So
I love documentaries.
I know you do. So I'm gonna give it a 3 because it's solid. It's well done. And it is entertaining for what it is. I found myself to be entertained by it. It's almost like I would want to go back and actually pause it and see what the monsters actually look like, because half the time they're like on the screen for like 1 second and then they're gone, right? So what? Is there monsters out there? Are you trying to scare Daddy?
I'm about to scare you, he'd scare me.
True.
You'd go out and say hi.
But yeah, so would you recommend it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what? So would I. As long as
But
you
just know-
as long as you
know
know
what
what
it-
it is going in,
Yeah.
like you realize. Well, you don't necessarily need to know what it is going in, but don't go in thinking it's
Just a regular
fictional
movie.
monster
Yeah,
movie
no.
or something like that.
Because I was mad.
Because you'll be surprised right away.
And surprised again. And nobody better say I'm stupid because I didn't realize right away. Just shut up.
You're so cute, buddy. But yeah, there you go. That's our thoughts on the film. Have you seen the film? Comment down below. Keep it spoiler free as much as possible, like we try to do here, except for the Blair Witch, which we completely just ruined for you.
I didn't ruin it. Don't come for me.
But anyways, thanks for watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.
No reaction that time.
He's laughing.